Assalamu alaikum children. How are y'all? Can y'all hear me? Right. So this is Miss Fatima here. So I'm a science teacher. Right. So we'll start the class. So if you have any doubt while teaching, like we are studying and you don't understand a particular part, you can leave a message to the chat, right? To the co-host. Then definitely I will be replying to your answers, right? So before I start the class, I have to tell certain things here, right? So this is a chemistry lesson, right? So you have to maintain a book. Since you all don't have the tute in hand, take a rough book, a notebook, and write whatever that is important. Definitely, I will be discussing the tute with you all. Then whatever that is necessary, the work that I'm telling you to do, you have to do that. Right? So take a sit in a place, take out a writing book, and be prepared for the class. Right? So then we'll start the class. If any of your friend who is willing to join the class, please send the link and ask them to join. So since this is a free session, they can be benefited as well. Right. So you all have to be interactive, children. That is where you will learn, right? When you talk to me, like even though if you are nervous to unmute and speak, just leave a message in the chat, right? So if I ask you, did you understand? Say yes. If I ask a question, give me your answers. So it doesn't mean the answer should be correct or wrong. Doesn't matter about that. Just your attempt is important, right? So we'll start. So yes, we'll start the class, right? So today we are going to start the lesson number what? What's the lesson? So do you all know what's the lesson that we are going to discuss for today? So today we are going to discuss the 12th lesson, which is electrochemistry. So before we get into the lesson, let me tell the importance of this lesson, children. So this is a must question every year in your essay question, right? When you take your science paper, you have something called essay question, where you have to write in the full scap sheet. I hope that you all are aware about the paper structure. You have MCQs, you have structure questions and essay question, right? So every year this lesson comes under essay question and few MCQs as well. So make sure now each essay question is 20 marks. When this get divided into 2, out of your 100 marks, this contain 10 marks of the paper, right? 10 marks of the paper from the essay questions only. Then if you add the MCQ marks, about 12 to 13 marks you can score from this lesson only. Then understand the importance of this lesson, right? So this lesson is easy when you understand the concept from the beginning, right? So that's what I told you. If you have a doubt at a particular point, just ask me to explain it once again, right? So if you didn't understand the lesson, okay, at a point, if you didn't understand the lesson, you will struggle, right? Now itself I'm telling that children, whenever you have a doubt, right, unmute and tell. So the best way to study chemistry, you have to understand the concept, how it works, right? Then the same thing that will apply in everything. Now when you wanted to study physics, you just have to memorize the equation. You have to know the equation and you have to practice. Similarly, when you are studying chemistry, you have to understand how it works, how the chemical reaction works. So that is where you can study chemistry. Right? That is how you have to study chemistry. Nothing to memorize. Nothing to memorize. You have to understand the concept. Concept should be clear for you. You shouldn't have any doubt when you're studying about chemistry. Right? So we'll start. So electrochemistry. The word electro stands for electricity. Right? The word electro stands for electricity. Chemistry, the word chemistry, that stands for chemical reaction. That stands for chemical reaction, right? So in this lesson, you are going to talk about electricity, with a connection to chemical reaction. Right? What are you going to study in this lesson? You're going to study about electricity having a connection with chemical reaction. There is a bond between those two. Right? That is what you're going to study today. Right? Before we go into the lesson, there are main three things that you have to know when you wanted to score well in your chemistry part of your paper, right? The first one is the periodic table. Be honest yourself and tell me who doesn't know the periodic table yet. Who doesn't know the periodic table, children? Anyone? This is in order to help you, right? You can send me in the chat. If anyone doesn't know the periodic table, be honest yourself and tell me, children. Anyone? So I hope that everyone is clear with the periodic table and having no doubts in that. Right? So let's draw. Take out the book. Draw with me. It's okay even though you know what is a periodic table and how to draw it. That's okay. Okay, that's completely fine. Draw it once again with me. Right? Draw it once again with me. Tell me, children, how many groups do you have in the periodic table? Tell me how many groups do you have in the periodic table? 8 groups. We have 8 groups. Draw with me. And how many periods are there, children?
4.
Very good. Right. Now start filling hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon, potassium, calcium. So these are the 20 elements that you have to know in order, right? Then you have 8 groups. You mark that in the Roman numbers, right? You mark it in the Roman numbers. Right? Then the periods. Then children, you have to know their valency. Then what you have to know? You have to know their valency. So the valency will vary. The charges on each group will vary as this. Right? It will start from +1. Group 1 will have the valency of +1. Group 2 will have the valency of +2. Group 3 will have the valency of +3. Group 4 will have the valency of +4 or -4. Then it will go to the minus. -2, -3, -2, -1, then 0. So, remember one thing, children. Whenever you are trying a question, right? Whenever you are doing a paper or you are trying a question relevant to chemistry, draw the periodic table in a rough paper, right? Draw it. First itself, don't read the question, don't do anything. When you get the paper in your hand, take a rough paper, draw the periodic table. It will save a lot of time in your exam, right? It will save a lot of time in your exam. So when you go to your O level, what is the first thing that you're going to do? Take a rough paper, draw the periodic table on it, right? So this is one thing that you have to know when you wanted to do a chemistry question. Then the next one, you have to know some polyatomic ions, right? You have to memorize some polyatomic ions with their valency, right? You have to remember some polyatomic ions with their valency. There are 6 main, right? There are maybe around 12 to 30 in your book, but everything does not come in your paper. There are specific 6, they test only between those, right? So if I wanted to teach you that, the first one you can remember as ammonium, right? Before we start today's lesson, you have to memorize all this, then only the lesson is going to be easy, right? Don't think blindly this lesson is easy, children. When you understand and you give your effort to study this lesson, this is going to be easy, right? So in a way, I am helping you to make all this the background setup to make you easy, right? These are background things that you need to do the lesson, right? First one is ammonium, NH4 plus 1. You don't write 1 normally, then plus. Then you have to remember for hydroxide, OH minus, right? Very good, OH minus. Then the third one, nitrate, NO3 minus. Fourth one you can remember as carbonate, CO3 2 minus. Then you have sulfate, SO4 2 minus. Then you have, for the sixth one, you have phosphate, that is PO4 3 minus. So these are the six main polyatomic ions that you have to know. You have to memorize it, children. Don't think now when you don't know this valency, when you get a chemical reaction to solve it, to undergo a chemical reaction, without the valency, you can't form a chemical formula. You need the valency to form the chemical formula. So make sure you are memorizing this. I'll just give you 1 minute. Study this if you don't know. If you don't know, study this. Write it on your book, the book which you are using now, or a paper. Write it. Quickly, children, I'll just give you 1 minute. Do it. This is for your own good, children. So make sure you utilize everything. In 1 day, we are not going to complete this lesson. This lesson will continue another 3 more weeks, right? So this is a part of my paid class, but I did this as a physical class. Sorry, not a physical. I did this as a free session because everyone can be benefited out of. So if you wanted to join the next class, next part of the class, then you have to pay 1,000 rupees for the class, and you can join the class. I will be giving you the printed tubes as well. It will be courier to your house. Right? All done? Did you all memorize it, children? Be honest and tell me, did you all memorize the 6 polyatomic ions? What is the first one? Ammonium, NH4 plus. Hydroxide, OH minus. Nitrate, NO3 minus. Carbonate, CO3 2 minus. Sulfate, SO4 2 minus. Phosphate, PO4 3 minus. Did you all understand? Any doubt?
No, miss.
Right. So then, the next one, this is the second thing that you have to know. This is the second one you have to know. Then the third one, you have to memorize the reactivity series. There is a series which you have learned in your grade 10 syllabus called the reactivity series. What is that series, children? Reactivity series. So can anyone tell me the reactivity series? Any volunteers who are willing to tell me? Anyone who knows the reactivity series? Come on, children. You start with potassium. Then
Sodium,
Very
calcium,
good.
calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, tin, lead, hydrogen, mercury, copper,
Hydrogen, copper, mercury. Copper, then only mercury.
platinum, and gold.
Silver. Where is silver?
Yeah. Platinum, silver, and then gold.
No. Mercury, silver, platinum, gold. Okay. Mercury, silver, platinum, then gold. Right? This is the correct order. Okay, this order is
Miss,
very
gold
important,
is
children.
gold is no AU.
No, gold is AG.
Okay.
Right. Sorry. You asked for gold, right? I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Okay, so this is the reactivity series. You start from potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, tin, lead, hydrogen, copper, mercury, silver, platinum, and gold. So just 1 minute, study this, children. If you are not memorized with this, okay, if you haven't by heart this, please memorize it now. Okay, please do it, children. A simple way to memorize. These are just simples. You can just go with the flow itself. This is tin. If anyone doesn't know, this is tin. This is tin and this is lead. Then this is platinum. This is gold. This is silver. So throughout the lesson, you have to use the reactivity series. So make sure you are memorized with that, children. So that is the reason why I am telling you to study. This is very important for this lesson. Make sure you are memorizing now itself. Revise it 3 to 4 times, then automatically you will memorize it. Do it, children. Don't be lazy. So this is for your own good. Done? Did I all memorize it, children?
No, miss, 1 minute.
Okay. Throughout the lesson, you will need this. For each and every question, this is important. So that is why before starting the class, I just wanted to tell. There is no element called ferrite. No. That is iron. That you called as ferrous. But you don't use the word ferrous. That is iron. Right? So the symbol gives us Fe. Right? But that is iron. No ferrite. It is not ferrite. Right? Done, children?
Yes, miss.
Right. How about others? Everyone, children, mostly I'm telling you this. This is very important. If you don't know the order of the reactivity series, it is hard to do the lesson. Right? So I'm telling so many times, make sure that you are studying it. Right? This is very important. Without this, it is not possible to do the class. Right? You have to memorize. You will understand when we move to the next part why it is that important. If you don't know the order, you will struggle. So make sure you are memorizing it. If you want, I'll give some more time. Utilize that and study it now itself. Don't do it. Don't think, okay, I'll do it later. It will not happen. Utilize the time now and study. Be focused in your work. Even though it's online class, don't think, okay, teacher's not going to see. Be honest yourself. Don't cheat yourself, actually. Right. Shall we move to the next part? Are you done? Do you all need more time to memorize?
No, miss.
Right. How about the others? Right. So make sure you're not forgetting this. Okay. Make sure you're not forgetting this throughout the lesson until your O levels. This applies in, you need this in most of the lessons. Right. Okay, now let's get into the lesson. So now whatever I did was like preparing for the lesson. Now we are going to get into the lesson. Okay. H is hydrogen. H and G is mercury. This is mercury. This is hydrogen. Okay. Right. So then let's get into the lesson. So what is the lesson? We are going to talk about electrochemistry. As I told you before, electro stands for electricity. Chemistry is all about the chemical reaction. So there is a connection between, you are going to build a connection between electricity and the chemical reaction in this lesson. Right? When you talk about cells, right? When you talk about cells, there are two types of chemical cells. There are two types of chemical cells. When you take chemical cells, there are two types of chemical cells. One is electrochemical cell. One is electrochemical cell. And the other one is electrolytic cell. Electrolytic cell. So in today's class, we will be talking about electrochemical cell. That means children understand the definition, right? Understand the definition of electrochemical cell and the electrolytic cell. Electrochemical cell means you are going to use the electricity, okay? Using the chemical, you are going to produce electricity. Using the chemical, you are going to produce electricity due to chemical reaction, okay? There are some chemical reaction taking place, right? Due to that, the electricity is produced. Due to that, electricity is produced. Those type of cells, you call it as electrochemical cell. What is electrochemical cell, children? Don't memorize, just understand the idea. Understand the idea. You are going to produce electricity. Electricity is produced due to chemical reaction. You call it as electrochemical cell. Right? You call it as electrochemical cell. Electrolytic cell is the opposite of this. Electrolytic cell is the opposite of this. Due to electric energy, right? Due to electricity, due to electricity, there are some chemical reaction taking place, right? Due to electricity charge, there are some chemical reaction can occur. So those types of cell which do this process, you call it as electrolytic cell. In today's class, we are not going to study about electrolytic cell. We are going to focus on electrochemical cell. Right? Okay. We'll start. Right? Then when you have an electrochemical setup, right? This is how the setup will look. You will have a beaker, right? You will have two rods, two metal rods. Right? So the rods, the metal rods, you call it as the electrode. You call it as the electrode. The metal rods, you call it as the electrode. The solution where you dip this electrode, you call it as the electrolyte. You call it as the electrolyte. Electrolyte is the solution. Okay, it is the solution where you dip the electrodes, right? Then you have to know that there are two types of electrodes. There are two types of electrodes. They are anode and cathode. Okay, they are anode and cathode. Anode means the electrode that undergoes oxidization. You have something called oxidization. Okay, oxidization and reduction. We will study about that now. Okay, we have to study about oxidization and reduction. Right? Now, before we go to that, did you all understand the structure of electrode? chemical cell, you will have two electrodes dipped in a solution called electrolyte. Then you have two types of electrode, which is cathode and anode. Did you all understand the idea, children? Any doubt in this? Any doubt?
No, miss.
Right. How about the others? If you have any doubt, just leave me in the chat. Right. Great. So now let's talk about oxidization and reduction. Right. Oxidization means the species or the atom. What is a species? You call a species as something like atom or related to human, like some sort of an individual, you call it as a species, right? A species which removes the electrode. Okay, the species which remove the electrode, that process, the process of a species removing an electron, you call it as oxidization. Okay, you call it as oxidization, right? What is oxidization, children? You have a species. Okay, now chemistry, right? You can take atoms, right? Atom is one individual. Individual, you call it as species, right? So a species removing an electron, that process you call it as oxidization, right? That process you call it as the oxidization. Now when you take sodium, what is the electronic configuration of sodium? Grade 10 chemistry. Come on, children. You should be fluent in this.
281.
2, very good. 2, 8, 1. In order to make their energy level stable, either they should remove this one electron or attract 7 more electrons. Which is easy? Removing one is easy. Therefore, if a species remove an electrode, removes the negativity, the person will become positive. Okay, if you are removing the negativity from your brain, you will become a positive human. Similarly, if an atom removes the electrode, if an atom removes an electrode, he will become positive. The atom will become a positive ion. Right? Now you see here, sodium is a species. It removed an electrode. It removed the electrode. That process of removing electron, you call it as oxidization. Did you understand?
Yes, miss.
Right. That is oxidation. Then we have to talk about reduction. Reduction is the opposite. Reduction is the process where the species attract electron. Where the species attract electron, you call it as reduction process. If a species is attracting electron, that process you call it as reduction. Okay, that process you call it as reduction. Did you understand? Now when you take chlorine, what is the electronic configuration of chlorine, children? 2, 8, 7. That is the
7.
electronic configuration of chlorine, right? Now you see here in the last energy level, they have 7. In order to make them stable, if they attract one more electron, they will become stable. Or else you have to remove all these 7 electrons, which is easy, removing one or attracting 7.
Removing 1.
Removing one. Not removing, attracting one or removing 7. Sorry, I told in the opposite way. Attracting 1 or removing 7. Which is easy?
Attracting 1.
Therefore, now this species, which is chlorine, is going to attract one electron. Then they will become Cl minus. This process of becoming Cl minus is called as reduction. Did you understand, children?
Yes, miss.
Any doubt?
No, miss.
Right. You should have a clear idea on what is oxidation and reduction, right? So throughout the lesson, you will be needing this. Okay, throughout the lesson, you will be needing this. So don't forget or misunderstand what is the meaning of oxidation and reduction. Okay, right. Now, for the people, I think. So let me share the tute for y'all. Okay, take out the book and write the answers on your own. Right? Do the first few questions. Let me mark. Do the first one, second one, third, fourth. Do all this. Do till the fifth one. Okay. Wait. Before that, let me teach another part, and then all together you can do it. Right? Look here, children. Everyone. Stop the work and look. Right? Now when you have the reactivity series, okay, you have the reactivity series. Now tell me children, the reactivity series you have memorized as well? Can you tell me anyone? Can anyone unmute and tell me the reactivity series? Very good.
Sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, tin, lead, hydrogen, copper, mercury, silver, platinum, and gold.
Okay, this is the reactivity series. Now, when you're talking about this lesson particularly, you have to add 3 polyatomic ions. You have to add 3 more species to the reactivity series. Where do you add that? From now hydrogen you erase, right? You add these 3, the thing which I am telling you, right? You add Cl minus, right? You add Cl minus, hydroxide, OH minus, and sulfate, SO4, 2 minus. Then you continue with hydrogen, copper, mercury, silver, platinum, and gold, right? Silver, platinum, and gold, right? Now here these 3 only for electrochemistry you have to add in the reactivity series. Only for electrochemistry lesson. If they ask to write the reactivity series, you are not going to mention these 3. But in the electrochemistry lesson, you have to add these 3. Right? Okay. Now you have to know another thing. Now you know what is oxidation and reduction. The element above in the reactivity series. The element above in the reactivity series will undergo oxidation. Will undergo what process, children? Oxidation. The element below in the reactivity series will undergo reduction. Right? Now let me explain you. Now you are taking sodium and copper. Right? Out of these 2, which will undergo oxidation and reduction? Sodium will undergo what, children?
Oxidation.
Okay, oxidation. Then copper will undergo what?
Reduction.
Reduction. How do you tell that? You check which is above out of this. Copper is above sodium or below sodium. If it is above sodium, it is going to be oxidization. Then if it is below, that is going to be reduction. So since sodium is above, it will undergo oxidation. Right? Copper is below to sodium, therefore they will undergo reduction. Did you understand that point?
Yes, miss.
Right? So don't forget this one. This will help you a lot. Right? Remember this. Okay. Now do the questions. Do the sixth one as well. Write the reactivity series and tell in the given lines the elements above in the reactivity series will undergo oxidation and the element below in the reactivity series will undergo reduction. Mention that. Do until the sixth question. Everyone has to do. Okay? Everyone has to do. I'll make it smaller, then everyone can see. Once you are done, let me know, children. We can discuss. Yes, next class will happen in the same time. At the same time, we will be doing the next part of the lesson. So we will be doing electrolytic cell next class. It is not like that. Wait, let me tell you. So now from potassium to what element they undergo oxidation? No, not a specific one. Now when you have a combination of these two elements, now anyways to decide which will undergo oxidation and reduction, there should be two species, right? That means two elements out of the reactivity series. Now when you take magnesium and potassium, out of these two, which is above in the reactivity series? Potassium is above in the reactivity series. Therefore, potassium will undergo oxidation. Okay, they will undergo oxidation. While magnesium will undergo reduction. Right? Now, if you have magnesium and copper. Out of these two, which is above? You know magnesium is above. In this case, magnesium will undergo oxidation. The element which is above will undergo oxidation. It doesn't have a particular element from this to this. It will undergo oxidation. No. Out of the given elements which is above in the reactivity series, they will undergo oxidation. Right? Then the remaining one will undergo reduction. Okay? Understood? Right. So do the questions. We can move to the next part. So to do the sixth question in the given blank space, write the reactivity series once again. Right? Then put an arrowhead above and show that the above elements will undergo oxidation. The below elements will undergo reduction. Then in the given lines, write the above element. If you want, let me write it. So you all can just copy that. The above elements in the series will One second and let me know, children. Do the question, don't just wait. Right? This is for your own good. Yes, for the grade 11, we have started the syllabus and we are going through this lesson. Right? So, this is the theory class time that I am doing this session now. Yes, you will be able to get the previous class recordings. And that will be available till your O-levels. It won't be expired. So, you can watch it whenever you want. About the tunes, yeah, I will be sending you the printed tunes to your house. I will be posting it, so then you can get the tunes in hand. Yeah. Yes, for the grade 10 also happens the same. So classes will happen on Fridays for the grade 10s. No individual class here because I have literally no time. But we have a limited students in our class. So you can just try it out if you are willing to. Like we have a minimum amount of students, so then you can get the attention, personal attention. So the class fees for each theory class is 1,000. Okay, if you are joining only grade 10, you have to pay 1,000. If you are joining grade 10 and 11, you have to pay 2,000. If you are joining the past paper class, that is 750. But if you are joining all two classes, theory classes as well as the past paper class, then you have to pay only 2,500 in total. Are you done, children? Shall we discuss and move to the next part?
Okay, miss.
Right. How about the others? Are you done, children? Everyone, let me know, children, in the chat. If you all need more time, also let me know. If you are joining the grade 11 class, you will get the recording, all the recording. But if you are joining the grade 10, you will get the access to the grade 10 lessons. That's how it works. Right? Does anyone need time to do? or done with the work? Right. So we'll discuss. Right. So what is electrochemical cell? What is electrochemical cell, children? The cell that
எலக்ட்ரோநெட்டிக் தெரியுமா உங்களுக்கு?
produce
வாங்க செல்ல. தேத்தினே குடிச்சிட்டு வாங்க செல்ல உனக்கு.
the cell that produce electricity due to chemical reactions that you call it as electrochemical cell. And from Colombo, right? Okay. So what is electrolytic cell, children? The opposite of that. Okay. So the cell that undergoes chemical reaction due to electricity that you call it as what? Electrolytic cell. What is electrode? The metal that is dipped into the what? Electrolyte. Okay. If you want, let me write that. The metal that is to the electrolyte. Okay. So what is oxidation?
Loss of electrons.
You have to mention the species. The process, this is a complete one. Okay. The process of a species removing an electrode is known as oxidation. Okay. Right. So what is reduction? Similarly, you write for that. The process of species attracting electron is known as reduction. So define cathode and anode. Cathode and anode. Anode is the electrode that undergoes oxidation. I forgot to tell that. Okay. Anode is the electrode that undergoes oxidation. Right? So write that below. Write it here. Anode is the electrode that undergoes oxidation, while cathode is the electrode that undergoes reduction. Okay. Right? Here you have to write the reactivity series and the definition which I have given below. Are you done with the work? Have everyone done it?
Yes, miss.
How about the others? Others are being very quiet. As I told you, there should be interactive session happening. Okay, that is where you will learn. Right. So we'll move to the next part. Now we are going to talk about the electrolytic cell. Okay, how it works. Right. So we'll start. Now here is the place where you have to give your fullest focus. Full focus is needed. If you forget a part, if you don't understand, you will be the loser at the end of the day. Right? So make sure you understand each and every step that happens in the question. Right? Now as I told you, let me take a electrochemical setup. Right? Let me take a electrochemical setup. You know, in an electrochemical setup, you will have two electrode, right? You will have two. Let me draw it little below. Right? You will have two electrodes and dipped in the electrolyte, the solution. Right? Now here the solution that I'm going to take is the sulfuric acid. Okay? Here I'm going to take as sulfuric acid. H2SO4 aqueous. What is aqueous? Aqueous is a medium if you have in contact a solution, right? A substance with water. Okay, substance with water, you call it as the aqueous medium. Right, here you have sulfuric acid with water. That means diluted sulfuric acid. Right, you are going to use diluted sulfuric acid. Okay, right. Then here I am going to take two electrode, which is one is going to be zinc and one is going to be iron. Right? Now here, before you do the electrochemical question, electrochemical cell question, you have to write the reactivity series in a paper. Now let me write it here. Can you all tell me? Except for Hishma. Anyone else? Because she was telling the previous time. Anyone else who is willing to tell me the reactivity series? Anyone? Come on, children, you all have to volunteer. Now, so far you did the question, you understood what is the reactivity series. Come on, unmute and speak.
Potassium,
Sorry, speak a little louder.
potassium,
Okay.
sodium, calcium, magnesium,
Magnesium,
iron, zinc, iron,
tin, lead. Now here you have to add the, as I told you, three other chemicals. Okay, Cl minus, OH minus, SO4, 2 minus. Right? Then you continue with hydrogen. Hydrogen,
hydrogen,
then
copper,
copper,
mercury,
mercury,
silver, platinum,
silver.
and gold.
Very good. Very good, Sahna. So the recording of today's class, I will be sending, the admin will be sending to the group. Okay. Yes, this is the first batch. Okay. Right. So now what you have to do is, now you have to analyze what are the elements and ions you have in the setup. Right. Now what are the elements that you can find here? You can find zinc and iron. Elements in the setup, you can find zinc and iron. Right? Now, this is a compound. This is a compound. You have hydrogen and sulfate. Right? H2 and SO4. Right? You have sulfate and hydrogen. When you break this, when you break H2SO4, the sulfuric acid, you will get H2 and SO4. You will get H2 and SO4. Right? Now these are ions. These are ions. Right? These are ions. Okay, you have 2 minus SO4, 2 minus. This is why I told you to study the polyatomic ion. This is a polyatomic ion. Right? Then addition to this, you have water. Aqueous medium. Then if you break down the water molecule, what are the 2 ions that is present in the water molecule, children?
Hydrogen and oxygen.
Very good. Hydrogen and hydroxide, not oxygen. It is hydroxide. Okay. Hydrogen ion and hydroxide ion. Now you mark all the elements and the ions you got from this setup in the reactivity series. Where do you have zinc? Here is the zinc. Then you have iron. Then what else you have? You have hydrogen. Ion. Right? Then you have SO4, 2 minus, sulfuric. Then you have OH. Now, out of the boxed elements, can you all tell me which is above, children? Which is above? Out of the box that I have marked, the boxes which I have highlighted, which is above?
Zinc.
Zinc. Then zinc will undergo oxidization. Okay, it will undergo oxidation. Then which is below? Which is below in the reactivity series out of which I have highlighted?
Hydrogen.
Very good. You can see hydrogen. Therefore, this will undergo reduction. Now, did you understand how to find this will undergo oxidation and reduction? You are not going to consider any of the other elements. Whatever they have given you in the setup, in the experiment, you are going to consider from them, which is above and which is below. Right? Now, zinc is going to undergo oxidation, while hydrogen will undergo reduction. Okay. Then you have to mark the anode and cathode. You know that the electrode which undergoes what? The electrode which undergoes oxidation, you call it as the anode. Okay. The electrode which undergoes oxidation, you call it as the anode. Once you know the anode, you can mark the other one as the cathode. Okay, you can mark the other one as the cathode. Therefore, this is positive and this is negative. This is positive and this is negative. Right? Did you all understand the idea? Did you all get the idea, children? Anyone has a doubt? Yes? Okay, now let me explain it once again. Listen carefully. Listen carefully, children. Okay, you have a setup. In that setup, you have iron and zinc as the electrode. Then the electrolyte is the sulfuric acid in the aqueous medium. Okay, now what you have to do, the first step, you have to analyze what are the elements and the ions you have in the setup. Right? What are those? You have zinc, iron and sulfuric acid in the aqueous medium. Zinc and iron are the elements. You know a compound is made out of iron. Either they should have a positive and a negative ion. H2SO4, which is sulfuric acid, if they break down, they will process H2 plus, okay, hydrogen ion and sulfate ion. Okay, H2SO4, that's a polyatomic ion. Right? Then you know that the sulfuric acid is in the aqueous medium. I told that aqueous medium means what? You have a substance addition to water. Okay, you have a substance with water. You have sulfuric acid with water. Then if you take the water molecule and you break it down, you will have H plus and OH minus. Since you have 2 OH, you are not going to write twice. You should have only once. Hydrogen plus. Then what you have to know, you are going to mark all the elements and ions in the reactivity series. When you mark, you should able to identify which is on the top. Okay, here from this question you can see zinc is in the top. Then zinc is the species that will remove the electrode and undergo the process oxidation. Okay, then when you come to the below part, the bottom, which is in the bottom, you can see hydrogen. Hydrogen will undergo reduction. Remember one thing, children, mostly hydrogen will undergo reduction. Mostly hydrogen only will undergo reduction. Okay, did you all understand so far whatever we studied? Any doubt?
No, miss.
If anyone has a doubt, let me know, children. Right. Okay. So now you have to know what is meant by oxidation half reaction and reduction half reaction. Right? You have something called oxidation half reaction. Right? Now, what is the element that is undergoing oxidation process? That is zinc. Now, zinc, you have to remember the valency of zinc is what? +2. If it is +2, it is going to remove how many electrons? Zinc solid will undergo the process oxidation. What is meant by oxidation? Removing electrode. If they remove electrode, they will remove 2 electrons. Plus they will form Zn plus 2 plus. So this is the oxidation reaction. Remember listen once again. You have the zinc solid. Solid in the sense, what is solid here? The metal. It is in the form of metal. That is why you have mentioned the physical state as solid. Right? In order to become stable, this zinc will remove 2 electrons. The valency of zinc is 2. Now SO4 2 minus. Okay, how do you get that? If this SO4 is removing 2 electrons, they will get this form. Similarly, in order to become stable, zinc has to remove 2 electrons. If they remove 2 electrons, they will become stable. Zn 2 plus. Right? In the aqueous medium. So this is the oxidation half reaction. Did you all understand, children?
Yes, miss.
Anyone has a doubt? Anyone didn't understand? Let me know. I'll explain it once again. If you all have a doubt. Yes, I'll repeat it. Okay. Now you found out that zinc is undergoing oxidation. Then you have to know how to write the oxidation half reaction. In order to write the oxidation half reaction, you have to write the element which undergo oxidation. Then you have to mention their physical state. You put an arrow. In order to make this zinc stable, now the chemical reaction should take place, no? Okay, a chemical reaction should take place in order to process the electricity, to produce the electricity, right? In order to become zinc stable, they should remove 2 electrons. They should remove 2 electrons. If they remove 2 electrons, they will become Zn 2 plus. Now, similarly, can you remember if you take magnesium, right? In order, what is the electronic configuration of magnesium? 2, 8, 2, right? This magnesium should either remove these 2 electrons or attract 6 more electrons. Which is easy? Removing 2 is easy. Then this magnesium will remove 2 electrons. You have to know that if a human that is removing the negativity, he will become a positive human. We have studied in grade 10, right? So then if magnesium is removing electron, they will become stable. Okay, if they become removing electron, they will become positive and stable. Now, how many electron are they removing? You put a plus because they are removing electron. How many? 2 are they are removing 2. Then this is how you get Mg2 plus. Similarly, zinc you will get as this. Right? Now children, when you talk about this lesson, specifically they ask about zinc. Iron. I will tell in the last what are the important things that you have to know. For now, did you understand this process? You don't think about any now. You don't think that if I get tin, how will I do this process? No, there are some ways of asking. Not all the elements in the reactivity series they don't test. There are some specific highlighted ones. I'll tell you in the end of the class. For now, did you understand this part? Right.
Yes.
Then, okay. Right. Now, then you have to know the reduction half reaction. So, what is the element that undergoes reduction half reaction? What is the element? What is the element below in the reactivity series which I have marked? Hydrogen. Okay, hydrogen. Hydrogen plus. Okay, hydrogen plus. This is plus. To make that equal, to make that stable, you are going to add an electron. You are going to add an electron. If you add an electron, they will form H2. They will form H2 gas. H2 is a gas. You don't find H2 in other media. They are gas. Understood, children? Understood the reduction half reaction. Okay, now use what you understand. You have to find the correct oxidation element, right? For that you have to write the equation to make them stable. That is the oxidation half reaction and the reduction half reaction. You make the element stable. Now H plus is not stable. You add one more electron to make them stable as H2, right? So when you make the two oxidation and reduction half reaction, you mark it as 1 and 2, right? Then you have to find the overall reaction. What you have to find, children? You have to find the overall reaction. Let me write it smaller, then I have more space. This is the second one. Then you have something called overall reaction. Overall reaction means where you have to cancel out the electrons. Where you have to cancel out the electrons. Okay. Then what you have to do? You have to now, do you know simultaneous equation? How do you do simultaneous equation? Here
Yes.
something similarly you have to do for the simultaneous, similar to simultaneous equation you have to do. Now what you have to do, you have to take the elements before the arrow and the after arrow, right? Before the arrow and after arrow. When you take the oxidation reaction, you get zinc on the one side and the remaining on the other side. Similarly, here you get H plus and 1 electron and H2. Okay, H plus and 1 electron, and here you get them. Okay, then what do? You write the left hand side on one side and the others on the other side. You have the arrow. This is the left hand, this is the right hand. All the elements in the left hand side, you write it in this way, and then the right hand side elements, you write it in the other way. Okay, then if you write as that, zinc plus H, zinc solid, you have to mention the physical states. Okay, then you have the give me a minute, getting a call, give me a minute, children. Right? Okay, let's continue. Right? Then you have H plus and 2 electrons. Then you draw the second arrow. Here you have 2 electrons plus zinc 2 plus. Then you have H2 gas. Here should be aqueous media. Right? You have to mention the physical states as well. Right? Then what do? You can cut off the electrodes. You can cut off the electrodes. Then you write the remaining. Okay, the overall reaction will be zinc solid plus H. Okay, zinc solid plus 2H plus. Then you put the arrow zinc 2 plus H2 gas. Understood? Right, you all can see that. Right, give me a minute. Let's, right. So we'll do it from the beginning below. You will have a better idea, and I did not manage the space as well. Give me a minute. We'll do it from the beginning, right? So anyone has a doubt? I think you all didn't understand the last part, right? Because it was not visible. Right? We'll do it once again. You will understand better. I'll little manage the space because the board is little small, therefore. Right. Now the oxidation half reaction. Right? Oxidation half reaction. Now when you talk about the oxidation half reaction, you have to do the chemical stabilization for the zinc. Right? Zinc will form what? Zinc will release 2 electrons and they will form zinc 2 plus in the aqueous medium. Here is going to be the solid. Right? So this is the oxidation half reaction and this is the first equation. Then we have to talk about the reduction half reaction. Right? So in reduction half reaction, what's the element that you are going to consider? We are going to consider the element as hydrogen. Right? Hydrogen is the element that is below in the reactivity series. Right? H plus will undergo reduction. You have to know H plus will undergo reduction. Okay. When you have H plus in the aqueous medium, right? They will attract electron. They will attract electron. Then they will form H, right? They will form H. Now, as I told you, do you find H atom in the nature? That means hydrogen atom in nature? No. Children, remember this is a very important thing. You don't have hydrogen atom in nature. You have H2. Okay, H2 gas. That is the only thing that is present. Okay, you don't have hydrogen all alone. Okay, wherever you search, if you write only hydrogen, that is wrong. You have to write is H2. Now, if we are producing H2, okay, if we are producing H2, I thought children, you all know this idea. That's why I did not explain it elaborately. But later on, I got to know that children doesn't know this. Okay, remember there is no hydrogen atom in nature. They will form H2. They will combine with another hydrogen atom and they will form H2. Right. Now, if they are forming H2, they should attract 2 more electrons. 1 electron is not enough. They should attract another electron of another hydrogen atom. If they are attracting another electron, this hydrogen plus should become 2H plus. Did you understand? Did you understand?
Yes, miss.
Right? Look here once again. I'll explain once again. Listen, right? You don't have hydrogen in the nature. Okay? You have H2 gas. You have H2 gas. If it is H2 gas, they have to attract 2 electron. If they attract 2 electron, here also it should be 2. 2H plus. 2H plus only can attract 2 electron. One hydrogen cannot accept more than 1 electron. If they have 2 hydrogen atoms, they should be, here should be 2H plus. So this is the reduction half reaction. Now you consider the overall reaction. Now you consider the overall reaction. Right? So what I have said, you have an arrow. All the elements or whatever you have, before the arrow, you write it in the left hand side. Before the arrow, you write it in the left hand side. After the arrow, you write it in the right hand side. Now you consider here, you have zinc. And in this part, you have the 2H plus and 2 electron. You write that first. Zinc, solid. You have to mention the physical state, children. Is solid or aqueous, that is important, right? Then 2H plus aqueous plus 2 electron. That is in the what? Left hand side. Now you write the right hand side. You start with here. 2 electron plus zinc 2 plus H2 gas. This is aqueous, right? Now, this is the overall reaction, right? Now, what do? You simplify. Now, what do, children? You have to simplify. How do you simplify? You see here, you have to simplify the electron, not any other thing. You have to simplify the electron. 2 and 2 you can cancel off. Okay, then you forget about those two and you write the remaining. You write it as zinc S, which is solid medium, and 2 hydrogen ions in the aqueous medium. You draw the arrow. Zinc 2 plus aqueous medium, then plus H2 gas. Understood? Understood, children? Any doubt? If you all have any doubt, feel free. I'll explain it once again. I know this is like something that is very new to y'all. Y'all haven't done sort of a things earlier. So anyone has a doubt, let me know, children. I'll explain it once again. Come on, children. This is a free session. In order to make it, utilize it. Please utilize it. So if you all have any doubt, ask me. I'll help you out. Understood? Anything to be clarified? As I told you, this lesson is that important. Okay, this lesson is very, very important. So make sure you understand each and every point. If you don't understand a particular point, you will miss. Right? Imagine you found the wrong oxidation element. You find it as iron. Then can you do all these steps? No, you can't. You will fail in everything. Okay, you will not get correct answers in all of these questions. So therefore, every question answer should be precise. Everything should be perfect. Okay, your answer should be that accurate in this lesson. Right? Did you all understand, children?
Yes, miss.
Right. Okay. So then you have to know that when they undergo after writing the overall reaction, you should know that the zinc metal will dissolve. Okay, you should know that the zinc metal will dissolve. Right? When they dissolve, this metal will be dissolved. Right? Then you should know that the hydrogen bubbles will be acting closer to iron. Hydrogen bubbles will be acting closer to iron. Right? Then, what can you tell? Then, this will become the negative and this is the positive. You know that, no? Anode and the cathode. Right? You will observe the observation. There are two observations that you can make. One is the metal strap. The zinc metal will be dissolved. Okay, the zinc metal will be dissolved and the hydrogen bubbles will be evolved near to the iron metal. Right? How can you tell that that is hydrogen bubbles? Because they are colorless. Hydrogen will emit a colorless bubbles. Okay, the colorless bubbles will evolve near to iron. Okay, that is the observation. Those are the two observations that you have to know from this part. Did you all understand, children?
Yes.
Right? Then, how does the electric flow? Electron will flow from the negative to positive this way. Okay, remember electron will flow from negative to positive, right? While the current will flow from the positive to negative, right? This way. From the positive, from anode to cathode, only the current will flow. Electron will flow from negative to positive. Remember that as well, right? Okay. Anyone has a doubt from this part? This is the complete idea that you have to have. Oxidation point in the sense you are asking for the definition. You are asking for the definition that the species that is that the part you are asking for. Is that the part, Umar Aisha, you are asking for? Or this part, oxidation half reaction? Which part you wanted me to explain?
Oxidation half reaction.
Okay. So listen here. So zinc is in the form of solid, right? So remember, zinc to tin, zinc to lead, the valency is plus 2. The valency is plus 2, right? Then you have to know that if it is plus 2, they are going to remove 2 electron. Plus 2 means removing 2 electron. If they remove 2 electron only, they will become 2 plus, right? The zinc will remove 2 plus and they will form zinc 2 plus in the aqueous medium. Now what you have to understand, children, zinc, how are you going to make it stable? If they remove these 2 electrons only, they are stable. If they remove these 2 electrons, they will come to a stable configuration. So that is that oxidation half reaction. Okay. So take out the tube and do this question, Felicia. Okay, do the seventh one. The same question which I taught you, right? So do that. Do it, children. Don't just pay it. Okay, this is for your own good, as I told you. And here on the corner of the paper, write the reactivity series and mark all the ions and elements. Then box them. Then show them this is oxidation and this is reduction, as I did it on the board. So do something like that, so you will understand better when you refer to the tube. But let me know, children. We can move to the next part, right? And at the meantime, if you all have any doubt or any clarification that is needed, just let me know. Right, then children, shall we discuss?
Okay, Miss.
How about the others? Are you done? Shall we discuss? Or need more time to do? Come on, children, you all have to reply. How about others? Shamra, Yusuf, Umar, Aisar, who else? Layan, Aftab. Are you done? Shall we move? Right. So as I told you, let me get the right. Okay. So write the elements and ion present in the diagram. Okay. First of all, before doing the question, what I have told you to do, you have to write the reactivity series. Right? You have to write the reactivity series on the corner of the paper. Right? If you write the reactivity series here, then you have to mark. First of all, you have to write what are the ions. Zinc is an ion. Okay, sorry, zinc is an element. Iron is a element. This SO4 2 minus, what will they do? They will break up and they will form H plus and SO4. Right? Addition to that, water is present. Addition to that, it is in the aqueous medium, therefore water is present. If a water molecule break, they will form H plus and OH minus. Then what are the ions and elements? Elements are zinc and iron, right? Then what are the ions? H plus, and SO4, SO4 2 minus. Okay, I can't subscript, so therefore I'm just giving you the numbers, right? Then you have OH minus, right? Then you have to mark all these ions and elements in the reactivity series. Out of that, which is above, zinc is above. Therefore, zinc will undergo oxidation and hydrogen is in the bottom. Therefore, it will undergo reduction. Right? Then you have to mark the anode and cathode. You know that zinc will undergo oxidization. Okay, oxidation. Therefore, zinc is known as the anode. Zinc is the anode. If you found the anode, you should know that anode, then the other one is going to be the cathode. Right? Anode and the ion is going to be the cathode over here. Right? Therefore, zinc is positive and that is going to be negative. Right? Then you write the oxidation half reaction. What is the oxidation half reaction? You have zinc solid. Okay, you have zinc solid that will, how can I type an arrow? Right? That will release 2 electrons plus and it will form zinc 2 plus. So this is the oxidization half reaction. Then you have the reduction half reaction. Reduction is undergone by the element hydrogen. Right? Then H plus is there. H plus will accept how many? H plus will accept 2 electrons. Before that, if I wanted to write in detail, 2 H plus, okay, will attract 2 electrons and they will form H2 gas. right? Which is the reduction half reaction. Then you have the overall half reaction. It is little hard to type it on the screen. So whatever I wrote, if you get it as the overall reaction, that is then perfect. Okay. Did you all get the answers? Right. Then you have to write the observation. What is the observation? You can see that the zinc strip will dissolve and hydrogen bubbles, which are colorless bubble, will evolve around the cathode. So that is the two observation that you can find from this experiment. Right. Now children, I'll just give you all 10 minutes. Can you all try the 8th question by your own? Same step, nothing to change. Okay. As you all did the first one, do it. You identify the elements and the ions. Write the reactivity series. Mark the elements. Find the element which undergoes oxidization and reduction. Right. Then mark the cathode and the anode. Write the oxidation half reaction and reduction half reaction. Right? Do it well. Don't do the observation because you don't know what should do in the observation. Right? Do until the overall reaction. Right? Trust yourself and attempt the question. It doesn't mean that you have to get the correct answer, but your attempt is important. You have to try the question. It doesn't mean that if you try only if you get it corrected only you succeed. No. If you get it wrong, the next time it is a lesson to do the next question. The same mistake will not be repeated. Right? Try this question. I'll just give you 10 minutes. Now the time is 5:45. 5:55 we'll discuss. Right? The same procedure, nothing to change. If you have any doubt, ask. But try it yourself. Right? 5:55 we will be discussing the question. This is for your own good children. Do it. So that is how you have to practice more questions, right? When it is coming to electromagnetism and everything, you have to practice. If you don't practice, you will lose. Because practice is something that will make you perfect. So do it. Try it on your own. If you have any doubt, leave a message. I'll help you out. You can ask for help, but don't rely on the answers. You try on yourself. You will have a better idea when you try it on your own. Do the same procedure. Do step by step. Don't be in a hurry. Okay, do it, children. We'll see. Once you are done, let me know. Everyone has to try. Don't just stay. Right? No point of staying. Just looking at this thing, it will not work. Okay? Just work. This is for the own good. For your own good, not anyone's own good. This is for you. If you don't understand a part, how to do, just let me know. How are you doing, children? I got one answer from Umar Aisha.
Yeah, Miss Parveen.
Okay. Umar, in the overall reaction, you have to cancel the electrons. So look for that. Look for the overall reaction and try it once again. You have to make sure that like you do it in the simultaneous equation. You have to make it equal and you have to cancel it off, right? Then how do you make it equal and do it? Just look and do it once again. Try. But then good attempt. And once you all are done, send me the answers, okay, in the chat. Or maybe in the WhatsApp is also fine. Make a picture or send it to me in WhatsApp. If you all don't know my number, just send a message. I'll send it.
Miss, I sent you on WhatsApp.
Right. Are you done, children? Shall we discuss? Yes, Hishma has sent me her answers. How about the others? Are you done? Children, shall we start discussing? How about Fatima, Shazma, Shamra, Yusuf, and who else? Umar, Aisa. Send me your answers, children, so we can check. Okay, so let's just type it in the Zoom and chat in the Zoom chat and send it to me. Right. So we'll discuss. Okay. We'll start discussing. Okay. So I'll just give you 1 more minute of time. If you all need it, just use it. Utilize it, children. Okay, I think the time is enough. We'll discuss. Okay. So yes, few of y'all have tried. I'm really happy about that. Right? All I need is your attempt. It doesn't mean you're getting the correct answer or the wrong. It's not a problem. Right? Always I think if you get it correct, okay, that is a success. But if you make it a mistake, that's okay. It is the step of the next success. So no worries. If you get a wrong answer, it's okay. Human make mistakes, right? That's not an issue. Right. So we'll start. We'll quickly discuss this part. Okay. So where's the question? Right. So let me draw the question. I'll draw a little smaller. right? And this is being connected. Okay. So here you have aluminium and iron. And you have HCl, hydrochloric acid, in the aqueous medium. Right. Now we'll get into the question. Similar method of the way that you did earlier. That is the one that you are going to do now. Right? But you are supposed to do, first of all, you have to write the reactivity series. That is the first thing that I told you to do. Right? So did you write the reactivity series, children? Even though you know that's okay, write it. Okay, you start with potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, tin, lead, Cl minus, OH minus, SO4 2 minus, hydrogen, copper, mercury, silver, platinum, and then the gold. Right? So these are the reactivity series. This is a reactivity series. Now what are you supposed to do? You know that hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid will break down and they will produce H plus and Cl minus ion. Right? Then you have water. Water, if they break down, they will form H plus ion and OH minus hydroxide ion. Right? So then what are the elements and ions you will have in this? Elements will be aluminium and iron. For iron, you will be having H plus, Cl minus and OH minus. You have H plus twice, you don't have to write it. Once if you write it, that is enough. Right? So this is the answer for the first question. Did you all get that answer? Right. Very good. If you all get this answer for the first question, that is correct. Right? Then you have to mark. What's the second question? Let me check. Mark the cathode and anode. For that, you have to find which of the element will undergo oxidation and reduction. Right? So, out of these elements, which is above, first of all, you mark. You have aluminium. You have zinc. Then you have H plus. Then you have Cl minus and you have OH minus. Right? So, out of this, which is above? Out of these elements, which is above? Come on, children, unmute and speak.
Aluminium.
Then aluminium will undergo oxidation. Aluminium will undergo oxidation. Which is below?
Iron.
Very good. Iron. Iron? No, not iron. Which is below?
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen. Hydrogen will undergo reduction. Hydrogen will undergo reduction. Right? Now you know if a metal which undergoes oxidation, that electrode is anode. Then aluminium is anode. Aluminium is anode. Iron will become the cathode. Iron will become the cathode. Then this is positive and this is going to be negative. Right? Then you have to know, mainly you have to know to do the oxidation half reaction and reduction half reaction. Right? Now let's talk about the oxidation half reaction. Right? Now aluminium. In order to make aluminium stable, you know right now, this is why I told you periodic table is important. If I draw the periodic table, the common mistake where you all made, look, you have 8 groups and 4 periods. Hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, sodium, magnesium, and aluminium. I'll write till aluminium. Okay. This is group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, and it will continue. Aluminium is in group 3. So that is enough. Right? So what is the charges vary? Plus 1, plus 2, plus 3. Plus 3 is the charge, not plus 2. Most of the mistake was this. Plus 3 is the charge. Right? I told you before as well. Zinc is plus 2. Zinc is not given in the periodic table. That is why I gave you. from zinc to lead is +2, right? Magnesium is +2. Sodium is plus, right? So this is why I told you periodic table is important, right? So aluminium will release how many electrons? 3 electrons, and they will form 3Al plus 3. Then in order to make them stable, right? In order to make them stable, now this is stable, okay? Then this is the equation number 1. Then you have to talk about the reduction half reaction. Reduction half reaction. Reduction half reaction. Right? What is the element that is H plus? You know that H plus will attract 1 electron, and from H. You don't have H in the nature. Hydrogen is not available in the nature. To form H2 gas, right? To form H2 gas, they should attract 2 electrons. If they should attract 2 electrons, there should be 2 hydrogen. But there should be 2 hydrogen atoms, right? So these are the physical states. Physical states are important. You have to mention, or else the marks will be cut off, right? So this is the equation 2. Now, in order to write the overall reaction, what did I tell you, children? You have to get rid of the electrons. You have to get rid of the electron. In order to get rid of the electron, you have to equalize and simplify them. You have to simplify them. How do you do that? You have to, now you see here, if earlier it was 2 electron and 2 electron, then easily you can cut it off. But here you have 3 electron in one side and 2 electron in one side. Then what do you do, children? You multiply the equations where you get the same value, then you cut it off. Right? Now the first equation, what is a common number that you can take for 3 and 2? You can take it as 6, right? Then the first equation, the aluminium equation, you multiply by 2, right? Then the reduction equation, you multiply by 3. Then if you multiply the first equation by 2, you will get 2Al solid state, right? 6 electron plus 3Al plus 3 aqueous, right? So this is the third equation, simultaneous equation. That is how it should work, okay? Then you multiply the second equation by 3. 3 into 2, you will get 6 hydrogen plus aqueous, right? Plus 6 electrons, okay? Then 6 H2 gas will be produced. This is going to be the fourth equation. Now you are going to simplify the fourth and the third. Right? Now you take the elements, whatever you have it in the left hand side to one side and the right hand side to the other side. Right? Then what do? You take 2Al, right? 2Al plus 6H plus 6 electrons. Okay? Then on this side, 6 electrons plus 3Al plus 3 aqueous. Right? Then 6H2 gas. 6H2 gas, right? Let me show it here. Let me adjust. Right? So let me write it a little closer. 6H2 gas. Did you all understand how to do the calculation in the above process? Did you all understand, children? Any doubts?
Miss,
Yes.
if you write 3H2 gas, is it wrong?
Where? 3H2 gas. Where did you write it?
Instead of 6. Yeah.
You can't know, dear. Wait. Yes. Yeah, should be 3. Sorry. It should be 3. It should be 3. Okay. So here is also the same. It should be 3. Sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. The electrons only should be 6. Right. So then what can you do now? You can simplify the electron. Why? Because both the side you have 6 and 6. Then you can simplify them. Then totally you will get 2 aluminium solid plus 3 hydrogen plus, that is aqueous. On the other hand, you will have 3 aluminium aqueous plus 3 H2 gas. Understood? This is the overall reaction. If I draw a box, this should be your final answer. Did you all get this? I think you all were confused with this part, right? To make that equal. That is an error that children did. So that's okay, children. That's a good try. So next time if you get a question like this, you don't struggle, right? So if you all want, write this down. Write it down and make yourself clear. If you all have any doubt, ask me, children.
Miss, what's the observation then?
Observation. I'll tell you, first complete this part. The observation. Aluminium, same observation you will be getting. Okay, same observation that is going to be followed. Here hydrogen gas is there, so colorless gas will be evolved around the iron electrode, cathode electrode, or you can write it as that as well. Then the aluminium metal will be dissolved. Okay, that is going to be the observation. So normally in reduction for electrochemical cell, hydrogen is given. Most of the time. They don't give any other metals. Okay, they give only hydrogen. Okay, so remember the equation for hydrogen. Then you don't have to worry. But electrolytic cell, it will change. You will get chlorine and so some sort of a different thing. We will be studying that in the next class. Understood? If you all have any doubt, ask children. Understood? Do you want me to explain any part you didn't understand? Is there anything to be done as that?
No, Miss, understood.
Right. How about the others? Shamra, Yusuf, Umar, and Sahla. Do you all understand, children? Right. Complete this part. Write it down. Write the correct answer. Most of you have made a mistake, right? So this is the correct one. Do it. Okay, children. Did you all note this down? Any doubt?
Okay, that electron simplifying method.
Do you want me to explain the simplifying method? Umar, do you want me to explain it or you understood?
The electron simplifying method.
Right. So look here below. So here, let me erase this part and do it. If not, it will be confusing. Right now, you got the overall, you got the oxidation reaction and the reduction, half reaction, right? Now you see here, there is an uneven in the electron. Here, in the reduction, that is 2 electron and oxidation, that is 3 electrons. In order to simplify them, you know that they should be equal. You know that they should be equal. Then only you can cut them off, right? Simple maths. right? So in order to make them equal, you can multiply with the number, which makes it equal. So 3 you can multiply by 2, then it will become 6. Similarly, you multiply this 2 by 3, then it will become 6, right? So you do that way. You multiply the whole equation. You can't multiply only the electron. You have to multiply the entire equation. Then 2 aluminium solid plus 6 electrons, 6 electrons plus 3, sorry, not 3, 2 aluminium 3 plus 8 equals. This will become your third equation, right? Then for the second one, you're going to multiply by 3, right? You already have 2. 2 into 3, that will become 6H plus aqueous plus 2 into 3, that will become 6 electrons. Then you draw the arrow. Then you have H2 gas, 3H2 gas, right? So this is going to be the fourth equation, right? Now what do? You cancel the 2 electrons value. You cancel the electrons value. 6 and 6, you can cut it off. Why? Because those two are same numbers, right? When you cut it off and write the remaining, that is going to be the answer, right? 2 aluminium solid, right? Then here you will be having 6 plus 6H plus aqueous plus 6 electron. I'll cancel and show that. Okay. Then you have 6 electrons here plus aluminium aqueous 3 plus and 3H2 gas, right? 3H2 gas. Right, now you can simplify these two and write the remaining. That is going to be the overall reaction. Understood? So only one thing, once you got the oxidation half reaction and the reduction half reaction, you should check whether the electrons values are equal. If they are not equal, you have to make them equal, right? Once you make them equal, you can cancel them and write the overall reaction. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So that's all for the today's class. In next week, we will be studying the electrolytic cell. Right? If you have any doubt after the class, you can leave a message to my number and then I will be explaining you in detail. Right? If you wanted me to do. Right? So then if you have any doubt, let me know, children. Do you all have any doubt? Anything to be clarified? Right. Then assalamu alaikum. You can leave. Thank you so much for joining. Hope you all benefited out of this. Right. Then goodbye. See you in the next class. Take care.